They're watching.
And there's trouble down in turn 1 and 2.
We have a car on fire after having hit the wall in turn number 1.
Grant Adcox.
Car at the bottom of the racetrack. Still a little bit of fire seen from underneath the car, but mostly smoke from the Grant Adcox car. This brings out our 4th caution period of the afternoon. Safety vehicles arriving on the scene. This is down in between turns 1 and 2.
Now Dale Earnhardt is racing Rusty Wallace back to the start-finish line. He wants to keep him that 2 laps down, so he's got to run hard. His crew has told him where the trouble is on the racetrack, so he does beat Rusty Wallace back to the start-finish line, keeping Wallace 2 laps down.
Both drivers get on the brakes to slow and go by the scene of the accident. We'll replay it and get just the tail end of Grant Adcox sliding down the banking after touching the wall.
Well, he's not touched the wall. He's hit it awfully hard with the right front. And it appears as though he's knocked an oil line or something, because there is some oil spewing on the exhaust system on the car. That's where the fire is coming from. That quickly extinguishes when the car is stopped.
5th caution period of the afternoon. Grant Adcox hit the wall over in turn number 2. There was some fire seen at the conclusion of the crash, but it quickly was extinguished. And now the safety crews work on extracting Grant Adcox from the car.
We see them with the jaws of life peeling the roof of the car back. They're trying to bend it. You see they're trying to bend the roof so they now, there it's bending. Now they're finally able to where they can get down to Grant to extricate him straight up out of the race car.
It's very difficult to get a race driver out of a stock car because of the fact that there is a cover over his head, and so this certainly is no indication of the seriousness of the accident. We have no word at the moment on the condition of Grant Adcox. 80s in Winston Cup competition. Grant Adcox car on the back of the truck, severe damage to that car.
There we see the right side. We can see just how hard did Grant hit that wall. You know, and my brother-in-law was explaining to me the other day, he was about how he fell out of the bleachers at a football game. And it was about 2 stories up. And I said, you just described to me what it feels like to hit the wall in a race car running about 150 miles an hour.
Yeah. It's something that most of us will never experience, thank goodness.
All the air leaves your body. When you hit, all the air leaves your body. And honest, if you're okay, it takes about 2 minutes before you can really get a decent breath. You're trying to please. I hope, you know, that's one reason I quit, folks. I never got used to that feeling.
Isn't it a lot safer and a lot more fun up here?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
While we have the opportunity, let's just say thanks to all the people who have made our 1980. Grant Adcox is being airlifted to an Atlanta hospital. He has suffered injuries in a crash up in turn number 2. He has been treated at the Infield Medical Center, and now he is being airlifted to the hospital. We have no specific word on his injuries or his exact condition. All that we do know is that he is being airlifted from the racetrack to a hospital. The Atlanta Journal 500 was marred by the first Winston Cup fatality in 5 years. Grant Adcox was competing in his 3rd Winston Cup race this year. On the 198th lap, his car suddenly darted to the right, hitting the wall with great force. A small oil fire quickly extinguished itself. It took rescue workers nearly 12 minutes working with the jaws of life to peel the roof off the car and get Grant out. After treatment at the Infield Medical Center, he was airlifted to Georgia Baptist Hospital in Atlanta, where he was pronounced dead of head and chest injuries. Driving for his father Herb, with whom he owned a car dealership, Adcox gained most of his racing fame in ARCA. He was king of the super speedways with 8 victories, including 5 at Talladega and 2 at Atlanta. He had planned to continue his career, which began in 1968 in the NASCAR Grand National Division. Grant Adcox was 39.